folks, I'm to come back today. So I want to talk to you about how I built the pond. I wanted to go through what I learned from my experience of building this pond. This is my first ever pond I've built. I used to have another pond that I just gained from somebody that left it to us when we got the house. I want to promote the guys that supplied me with all this stuff. Pankoi in Stoke-on-Trent, fantastic supplier, loads and loads of information, loads of knowledge. So yeah, anyway, let me move on. So, a few things that I learned and little mistakes and bits and pieces that I did. First thing you do, watch loads of videos. Just watch hundreds and hundreds of videos, get loads of people's information, mine, others, loads of people who've done it before, get all the information that they've done. Area prep. Think about where you're going to put it. This is one of the mistakes almost that I made, because I had a pond already in place here. I only had this little bit of space here. I thought I could make a bigger pond of it. It should have been 5 foot wide. It should have been 15 foot long. You've got to really plan your space. Spray your marking on the floor, spray it, rub it out. Do it a number of times. Got to keep in mind though where your filter system is going to go. Your filter system can take a lot of time, a lot of space up. You know, we've got a lot of space here that we'll put for the filter system, for the pipes and whatnot. The drains, you need a water supply, you'll need an electrical supply. So you've got to keep all that in mind. It's all going to be close to the pond, but not too close that it's sort of sitting on the pond. You've got to be able to hide all that stuff. About to put your first fork into the ground. If you can get a digger, get a digger. One of those little teeny weeny diggers. If you get it into your back garden, I couldn't get one into my back garden to be honest. I had to hand dig. It's a maul. You're digging for England. You become a human JCB. It's ridiculous. So if you can get a digger because it makes life so much easier. I believe I dug it all by hand. Think about your depth. How deep it's going to be. These things are going to be a minimum 4.5 foot deep. If you can do vertical walls as well, that keeps predators away. Shouldn't have too many problems with predators, but again, you know, it's all trial and error stuff. Watch loads of videos on that. Consider how you're going to build it, with what blockwork. Are you going to use fiberglass for your inside? Are you going to use the rubber matting stuff on the outside? Think of all those bits of get your supplies ready. So don't forget how wide it's going to be. You've got to keep that in mind, because your brickwork, for example, with this one, there's 7 tons of water in here. So, and it's almost 5 foot deep. It's 4.5 foot, nearly 5 foot deep. I wanted it 5 foot deep because of the brickwork. I had to make some changes. But the blockwork, a lot of people said that the base, because all the weight of the water is on the bottom, had the blockwork lying down and then put the other bricks on top. So I've got 3 layers in here of brickwork sitting on its side, which again made depth issues, and then the rest of them was on the top, because that's where all the weight is, on the bottom. So if you put in a window in, order this when you're 110% sure where it's going to go, what the sizes are going to be, and so on. I had to make a couple of adjustments to this. I should have gone bigger. I should have gone depth down to the bottom, taking up the bottom brick. Didn't. Ordered it a bit early. Again, I should have done the window down the side here, so I had a bigger window. So all the window would have been this would have been my viewing window. Gutted. Should have thought about that, but didn't. So put a lot of thought into it. If you put in a window, but put a lot of thought. These windows you can buy in. There's a place in Liverpool. I think I bought this for. I'll try to find the link and put that on for you. But these are 25mm thick. You've got 2 12.5mm thick pieces of glass with a middle section stuck together. Really thick glass. Watch a lot of videos. Just troll through YouTube. Spend a lot of time just thinking before you put that first shovel in the ground. I kind of thought I'd seen enough videos and went sort of trundling forward a little bit. It wasn't quite as wide as I wanted it to be. It wasn't quite as deep as I wanted it to be, because the base you put in, the concrete base, I wanted a 6-inch base. Ended up where the guy delivered the concrete, I got a 9-inch base. Once that concrete's coming out that pipe, there's no stopping it. So little things like that you got to think of. Take your time. Just take your time with it. You know, you've got a long build on your hands here. They aren't cheap to build. You know, you're talking almost just like a swimming pool standard. These, the pond, the filter system. If you can find an expert, for example, I use Steve at Pankoi in Stoke-on-Trent. It's fantastic. He's got his own website. I'll put a link in it in the description below, so you can contact Steve. He did all my supplying. He's always there to give you experience and knowledge. He's got loads of other people around him as well. He's got a little community of koi keepers, which I'm like a sponge at the moment, just absorbing information. If your supplier will help you fit everything, as soon as your pond is built, if you can get yourself, unless you're a really good builder, build it yourself. I'm not a builder, so I got a guy from work to come and help me. Thank you, Sean. He sort of did the main build, the edging. Now, once it's finished, if you can get your supplier and your knowledge man to come and help you fit in all the pump system, you've got lots of pipe work to fit in. That's a bit of a nightmare as well. So yeah, find somebody who can help you with that as well. Once it's up and running, you've got it built. Get some fish in it. People say you should leave them for ages to let the water naturally, for the nitrification cycle. My personal opinion, you've got to get some fish in there. They're the ones that create the ammonia and start the cycle. So you've got the ammonia into nitrite, into nitrate, cycle. So you've got to get that cycle going. The only way you can do that is put fish in and start feeding them, because they'll start making the waste to start making the chemical reactions. So one thing you got to remember as well, you're a keeper of water. If you can make sure this water's good, fish will look after themselves. You've got to be a water keeper. You've got your new pond, you've got your new fish, you've got brand new water in there, you've got a new filter system. You're into new pond syndrome now. My advice then is test that water. Get yourself a really good test kit from your local supplier and just keep testing it. You've got to react to when the ammonia kicks in. You've got to react to that. You've got to react to when your ammonia turns to nitrite, and then you've got to react for when your nitrite turns to nitrate. One thing to keep in mind is clear, crystal clear water doesn't mean good water. At the moment, you can see at the bottom of mine, perfect clear water, but I'm still running through that pond syndrome. I've still got medium nitrite, so it's still quite poisonous in there for the fish, which is I'm doing regular water changes. I've reduced the feeding down, trying to get this new pond syndrome up. We've put some new bacteria in to the filter to get the filter speeded up a little bit, but I'm almost on 12 months. I started this pond build back in May 2019. So I've just gone past the 12 months. I actually finished it in September, and now it's taken almost 12 months because now my nitrite levels are starting to come down, but nitrates are going up. So it's still changing waters. So the nitrification cycle has to happen. You can't get around that, unfortunately. The only way you can try to get around it is changing water, adding beneficial bacteria through your supplier. Speak to your supplier, he'll sort you out with that. You can put into your filters. So your nitrification cycle could take months to get done. So it's going to happen. So you've got to plan for that. So when you're planning your build, you've got to plan to the end of your build, and then you've got this whole 8 to 12 months of new pond syndrome. You've got to be aware of that. Different seasons have different areas. So if you can build your pond, for example, mine started in May, finished towards the end of the season actually. So mine was coming in towards September. So I had October, November, December, January, February. You know, all the winter months when the water levels and the water temperatures are very low. So you've got to be aware of those as well. So trying to plan when you're going to build it, to when you're going to finish it, to when you're going to get the fish in, to hopefully benefit you when you're putting your pond together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's really, I'm just making these videos to give other people just my knowledge of what happened, a bit of experience of, and hopefully people will learn from some of my mistakes. So if you like the video, please subscribe, click like, that'd be ace if you don't mind, and ding the bell, ding. And well, I'll post some more videos. If any other videos you want me to do, then by all means comment below, and I'll do my best to make some more videos of these guys and how we're going on since we're in the new pond. The pond's just 12 months old now, so the more I learn, the more I'll speak to you about it and tell you really how we're going on.